Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to our free necklace night. I'm Jennifer Keller. I'm an executive company vice president with Park Lane, and I'm here with the amazing sales VP, Jill Ross, and we are excited that you're joining us. As you're hopping on, make sure that you tag your stylist, let her know that you're here. We will be giving away a necklace at the end of this, so the way to get into that drawing is first by letting us know that you're here or letting your stylist know that you're here. So make sure you do that. And then I thought, Jill and I, we have known each other for a very long time. Like we started in this business when we were babies. So I thought it'd be fun to just ask Jill kind of about her experience and kind of her transition into Park Lane. So Jill, start by telling us a little bit about you.
Sure, Jen. I'm so excited to get to be here, you guys. And a little bit about me. I came into direct sales jewelry a few years ago. I was an officer in the military, and I still think that day God was giggling when this is the day that Jill gets introduced to something radically different than anything she ever saw on her horizon. I was 28 years old. I had a 13-month-old. I was driving an hour. I was working in Washington, D.C. at Coast Guard headquarters, and I'm driving an hour one way, leaving my baby in daycare, and I went to a jewelry party. And y'all, and initially it was, I'm just going to fill up my jewelry box. I'd been in the military at that point for 11 years, and I was in desperate need. I didn't start with any jewelry in the jewelry box, so in desperate need of a major update there. And 2 years of just dabbling in the jewelry, filling up my jewelry box, pregnant with baby number 2. And that's where my husband and I took by the time we pay daycare for these 2 kids, my take-home pay is going to be $2,000. And I looked at him and I said, I'm now working to pay somebody else to raise my children. And I dabbled in Premier Designs, where we met long enough to see the potential, to see the opportunity. If I had time and energy to throw at this business, that I could turn it into something. And I say it was a radical change. I had a master's degree in operations research. If you know what that is, you're geeky like me. And that here I am selling jewelry of all the things. And I just feel so blessed, so grateful that God allowed me Premier into my life, into this journey. We, after having baby number 2, added a few more. Jen giggles because she knows the number's 5. We've added 5 more after the 2. 4 the old-fashioned way, and 3 we adopted from Ethiopia. And just to look back and see God's hand in all of it and how he guided and directed, and our business exploded. Matt was able to be a stay-at-home dad at 35 to 3 kids who'd never had a dad. It was just incredible. And now that I'm on the backside, if you will, of 5 of them are out of the house, I've got a senior and a freshman at home. And those of you with adult children, know they're almost as expensive as having kids in your house. I'm not necessarily buying them the right shoe for the right sport, but it's the, Mom, I need help with a down payment. Let me just buy you shoes and a burger after practice. Oh my gosh. So to have that flexibility has just been incredible. So.
I hear that story so many times. I don't think very many people in our business grew up thinking, when I get older, I want to be a jewelry lady. Nobody thinks that. And there's probably very few people that really come into our industry wanting to build it big. Most of us start with just something little. I just like jewelry and I'd like to get it free. That sounds good to me. I want to do that. And I'll tell you, Jill knows this, but I used to be a CPA before I got into this. And when I first started in this business, I was a little embarrassed to tell people I was doing direct sales. I was not familiar with it. I didn't know anybody else who did that. So anytime someone would say, what do you do? I started by saying, I sell jewelry, but I used to be a CPA. I felt like I had to validate my intellect or something with that statement. But I will tell you, the longer I was in this business and was able to shift from the part-time jewelry over to the full-time jewelry and replace the CPA income and make more than the CPA income, I will tell people all day long, like I can give you a fancy, I mentor women and I help build businesses and I can give you all that. But really, I sell jewelry and it's amazing because this little jewelry business has enabled me to stay home with my kids for their entire childhood through graduation, through weddings. And the flexibility, like Jill said, is so important because we are busy and no one has time to add another. Not everybody's job is boring, but mine was boring. I'll just speak for myself and say no one wants to add another boring job into their life. So Jill, what makes you love this industry and stick with it for as long as you have? Because we've both been in what, 25, 26 years?
Next month will start my 28th. So November 7th is my 27th anniversary in direct sales, and the potential. The ability, and now I think COVID has really kind of helped us realize we can have an online business, a thriving online business, as well as an in-home, in-person business. I love there's no glass ceiling. There's no prerequisite. You can come in with a GED. You can come in with a PhD. That direct sales meets you where you're at. I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. And actually, when I was talking to Sheremy and we were doing this last week, she had asked me, what do I love about this business and about Park Lane? And I love all the, the perks that we can talk about, the trips and the cars and all the things that you can earn. But my favorite part is watching someone on my team like reach goals and dreams that they never thought possible, to see someone, feeling more confident about themselves, to see someone, able to pay for even something as simple as like their daughter's dance lessons, little things. And then the trips, like my heart can burst over watching a stylist on my team go get her passport for the first time because she has earned a trip with Park Lane. I mean, like, it's just so great. So, we can kind of move into Park Lane because as we both know, our Premier Designs, who we both loved forever and ever, closed at the end of 2020, which was a big shock. And I know for me, I thought for a split second, maybe I'm done. Maybe I'm done with direct sales. I gave it a good 20-year run. I even thought I'll go back to accounting, but then I do remember how boring that was. So that is not my path. I looked into companies and I found Park Lane first. And then I got a call from Jill. So Jill, tell us how you got into Park Lane. I do love the story.
So I'm very, very much like you, Jen. I thought, what? It's been a good run, 22 years. I'm a dinosaur in direct sales. Like, it's time to move into something else. And I thought I would go back to school and learn to do what I was doing for the little private school my kids go to. And my husband's like, they can't pay you a penny more. Like, and now you're going to go spend money and time to no, Jill. And Jennifer, it was you. You dropped a one-liner, and I'm so sorry you had to evacuate your home because of the fires. And I don't know if that was, you're like, well, I'm live anyway. I might as well tell them about Park Lane. If that was kind of the catalyst. And I'm packing up all my, what things do you put in a car that, what if my house burns down? And I'm thinking about going to Park Lane. And I, was really looking out for Jen. So I nearly immediately called her to tell her what a ridiculous idea it was, and to remind her that it was 2020 and that the world, especially California, was still in lockdown. And what was she thinking? Selling jewelry to women in quarantine. And Jennifer, when you said to me, you said, Jill, Park Lane is wrapping up the biggest year they've ever had. And I pulled the car over and took out a notebook. Like, who had their biggest year ever in 2020, except for Zoom, right? We had finally all figured out how to use Zoom, and that you could connect on Zoom and have relationships and all the things. And I mean that if you can sell jewelry to women in quarantine, okay, there's something going on with your marketing. Like, I want to sit up and take note of that. And oh my goodness, that is what I have found. It is different. It is to team up with a company that knows what they're doing. We just celebrated our 70th year. So talk about tried and true. Like, and I was very, if I was going to get into another direct sales company, it needed to be a company that was tried and true, that knew what they were doing. I did not have the heart left. My heart was broken.
Yeah.
When Premier closed, and I did not want that to happen again. And I wanted to be the company that knew what they were doing and had that experience. And I just think Park Lane 1955, like we're talking McDonald's and Disney, like that is some longevity. Talk about some economic tidal waves that they've endured. And then to come out of COVID with their best year ever and to hit every year after that better, like it just, whew, we're in the right place.
Yeah, I felt the same way. And I had done a little research before about Park Lane before I actually joined. So I was ready to kind of make that decision early on. And there was just a couple things about Park Lane that I thought, this is really smart. Like I thought they are a brilliant company. And the longevity for sure, like Jill said, but the other thing, like, I mean, drop a C in the comments if you have taken advantage of our customer sale. I've never heard of a sale like this, where when you buy 2 things at full price, you get 4 things at half price, and the 2 at full price are your least expensive. It's just crazy. I just had someone this morning message me, and she wanted a $40 bracelet and a $130 necklace. Those were the 2 things she wanted. And I was just giddy inside to be able to text her back like, oh my gosh, you're going to love this. I'm going to save you money. Pick out anything under 40 and you're going to be able to get that necklace for half price. Like she didn't even know. And, it is in our best interest, the customer's best interest, everybody to tell them about that sale. And even as stylists, we still make money on that half price, which did not happen in our previous company. So that sale is amazing. That was my first taste of their marketing is genius. And then the second thing, and this looking back, this makes me giggle because when we got started, a lot of us started in December of 2020 with the intention of we're just going to ride out the rest of the year and start fresh in January. There's something about that January 1st start date that just seems like that's what we should do. And Park Lane clearly knew that's what many of us were planning to do. And they're like, no, we need to get these girls going. So they offered, well, it wasn't just for us, it was for everybody. I think we thought it was for us until we learned it was for the whole company. But they basically dropped something like, if you sell, I can't remember what it was, $1,000 or $1,500, you get this gorgeous bracelet. And we were like, oh my gosh, like that incentive to kind of get it going. And then you get this prize at the end was so motivating. And so a lot of us did that. And then we realize now they do stuff like that all the time. Like we didn't know they did stuff like that all the time. And so there's always something fun to go for. Like even this month, if you sell, 2,000 in the last 3 weeks, you get this gorgeous blue and cream colored bracelet. If you do this, you get in a drawing for Amsterdam. I mean, they're always dropping things that keep it fun and keep it exciting and keep us engaged. So I love that part of Park Lane. And then I think too, I love that they have a strong hostess plan because I get asked all the time, oh, well, what's going to keep this going? I know Susie and Mary will have a show for me and then I'm out. So Jill, tell them a little bit about just what kind of keeps our business going.
That hostess plan. And I mean, if you're looking at direct sales at all, like you want a company with a rock solid hostess plan, because essentially what the company's doing is they are bribing your friends to introduce you to their friends and allowing us to do that. The most we ever pay is $9. Our hostesses earn $40 per order in free jewelry when they hit 10. If they don't hit 10, they earn $20 per order in free jewelry as long as they've had a $300 party. Like, talk about motivating. And I love that it's not a percentage of Park Lane does not judge your friends' pocketbooks. Like if we can get 10 of them to take a look at our collection and pop an order in with that fantastic customer special, I have seen my retail double. It has doubled in my customer orders. My personal retail every month, even with all my crazy, is double anything I ever did in my previous company. And it's real. Plus she gets 4 items at half price. She doesn't have to buy anything at full price. Plus she gets any item in the collection for $35. I just closed a party today with my hostess and her 9-year-old was out of her mind excited about one of our impression bracelets.
The 9-year-old.
And she had to wake her up. The 9-year-old was homesick from school. Honey, which color did you want? She picked the baby opal. I mean, she was like, Jill, that's the reason I booked the party. Like I couldn't justify but getting that for $35 for my little Bentley is her daughter's name. So Alicia, if you're watching, I can't wait to see. Bentley's got to get in my VIP group where I'm rocking that bracelet. So having that hostess plan that opens the door and it instantly magnifies your reach. Like if you think I only know 5 people, well, if each of those 5 people knows 5 people, and now each of those 5 people, like it just, and then now that we really have cracked the code on an online business as well, that running that VIP group. And so once the gals get in there, I mean, and thank you for we have a graphic designer on staff over here at Team Sparkle. And so there is, I mean, I tell my VIPs, if there's anything cute in here, I did not create it.
And you don't have to create it.
Exactly. I've learned how to copy and paste. And so keeping great content in there. And then, so we've got the Team Sparkle that is just helping me rock this along with the programs over here at Park Lane. It just, it's a perfect story of awesomeness.
And I think too, with the hostess plan, and we've cracked the code with the online for sure. And that, that started with COVID, but now we have stylists on our team that do so many different types of shows. Like you don't have to stick to one little way. Like I have done just in the month of October, I have set up at a wine bar. I've done 2 fundraisers, one in online, one in person. I've done a regular party in person. Like there's just this like menu of choices where it generally works for somebody, depending on what they want to do and how they want to gather with their friends. But I am finding too, that it's been so fun to get back together with people, like they don't do it as much anymore. Like we don't have time to do it. So and I always tell my hostesses, I know that I'm just your excuse to get together with your friends. And I'm totally good with that because I'm having just as much time, good a time as they are too. So it's all good. So Jill, let's see, what else should we talk about? What about why should someone think about joining Park Lane now?
That's my favorite question. Now is the time. And I mean, if you're watching me talk in February, I'm going to say now's the time as well. But now really is the time. We're in the golden quarter. And I personally am not holiday shopping because I can't even, anyway, I forget where I put it. I forget what I bought. I change my mind when I want to get them. But I am not the norm. There is people holiday shopping already. Why not let them holiday shop with you? At your launch party, when you come in as a new stylist, we're going to do a launch party for you. At that launch party, you're going to look a lot like the hostess. So you're not going to have to go live. You're not going to have to stand up in front of a room of people and talk about jewelry. That's our job as your leader, getting you started in Park Lane. The difference is, so you shop like the hostess and all that hostess benefits, whatnot. But when we hit submit, all that commission is yours as well. So thinking Cash Christmas, thinking, hey, let's do a little Christmas getaway this year. Let's maybe we've got some new grandbabies that we're Christmas shopping for, like me. Maybe, I mean, it's just, the sky is the limit. And it really that, I mean, a lot of people look at getting a part-time job around the holidays. And I just think, no, do not go to Target and work for minimum wage and even 10 hours a week. Like, oh my gosh, like compared to what you could make, if you put 10 hours in a week, could you even imagine what you do? If I put 10 hours in a week in Park Lane, what the income potential would be. So it just, the fact that you can invest this much time with this much return, and that really, I think this is the only industry that you can do that in. And having a product that's visual, you're a walking advertisement, your hostesses, your customers, you don't have to wear my necklace for 30 days to see if it's going to work for you. Like it just, it's instant, like and it's lightweight to ship around. Oh my gosh, so many. I was a little more than why start now, but you should start now. Why not give us a try? For $129, you're going to get $700, your choice of jewelry, plus that launch party. All that profit is yours. At the end of that launch party, if you're like, yeah, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, the jewelry's yours, the money's yours. Or you might be like a lot of the gals on my team that are like, well, that was fun. That was easy. Let's do that again. And we have no quotas over here. So it's as much or as little as you want to do. I've got gals on my team paying their mortgage, putting their kids through college. And I've got gals on my team that it is the fun that they just have been missing. A lot of empty nesters, retirees that are just like, okay, I'm not ready to just, I mean, love me some pickleball, but I need a little bit more than that in my life. And it just, and the great tax write-off, like, especially when you're empty nested and you don't have those deductions.
Yeah.
It's
You lost a lot of deductions.
it just, gosh, y'all, now it's so the time.
So Jill, if someone were to say, okay, I'm willing to try this, $129, I get $700 in jewelry. That sounds like a win. And they jump in and do this launch party, which we do a great job with that. We really do. We always make sure our leader's doing it, and we want to get you off to the best start we can. But how much will someone make for their time?
Thank you. Yes. We make 30 and 50% commission, which one of the highest in the direct sales space. And I love, so with Park Lane, with each level that you promote up, you add another 5%. So you come in as a fashion stylist at 30%, again, one of the highest in the industry. That first level of promotion, when you bring one person in on your team, it's going to pop you to 35%. The other thing I love about Park Lane is we never go backwards.
Yeah.
Park Lane cares about our mental health over here, and there's no stressing about hanging on to a leadership level. You'll be at 35% commission for the rest of your time in Park Lane until you promote again to 40% commission. Now, if you have experience in the direct sales space, we definitely need to talk. And that was another thing that I loved about Park Lane is that they recognize and reward previous or current direct sales experience, especially if you've been at a leadership level. So Park Lane I had worked hard to work myself almost to the tippy top at Premier, and Park Lane said, we recognize that and brought me over at a level equivalent, which completely makes sense. I mean, you don't work your way to a corner office and then start again,
Right.
As the janitor just because you moved companies. So it just, I can't remember the question you asked. Making money.
Yes. Do you make any money or do you get paid in jewelry? That was basically the question.
Yes, we make money. And I have my new stylist all the time, like, Jill, I got 2 packages of jewelry this week. I can't remember what it's for. I said, well, one was a prize you won from me, and one was a prize you won from Park Lane because of the vault. Remember, you turned in this and that.
Right.
Oh my goodness, like I just can't even. It's so fun.
It is fun. And just speaking of the jewelry, since I have it right here, so many times, in addition to getting paid, you do get paid in real money. You also can earn a ton of free jewelry. And sometimes, not sometimes, every month you can earn a piece that has not yet been released to the customer. So you can earn it first and you have it to show. So I'll just give you all a sneak peek since I just happened to get this a couple days ago. This is our new Bramble. And how cute would this be right now with what Jill is wearing with your browns? So cute. So this one, tell your stylist if you like it to be put on a wish list, wait list for Bramble, because that one will be coming soon. So like she said, it is fun to get your mail and see pieces. And sometimes you don't even know why you have them, but it's all good. So, well, as we wrap this up, anything else I didn't mention or we should talk about? I feel like we hit most of it.
To give them a secret word.
Oh, yes.
Don't forget the secret word. But if you are on the fence at all, I just think, why not? Like, it is such a win-win, y'all. Like, come in, give us a try for the holidays. That's it. Just give us a try for the holidays. Again, lots of people get holiday jobs. Like, no one's going to judge you for doing that. No one's going to judge you for deciding in January that you're turning in your jewelry keys. Like, it was a holiday job. Just come in, give us 2.5 months, and let's just see what this thing could be. I think how radically different my life would look if I hadn't said, let me just give this thing a go. And I knew nothing about jewelry. Like, I knew earrings went here. That was it, y'all. That was it. Like, it just, another reason I love jewelry. Like, it's such a, you don't need a degree. You don't have to study and study and study. Like, it just, earrings, necklace, bracelet, rings. Like, it's not rocket science. It just, anyway.
Yeah, I agree. If you're thinking about it, come over and have fun with us. Jill and I have a lot of fun. There's even other fun people on the team too. It's not just us, but we do have a pretty good time over here at Team Sparkle. So, all right, as we wrap this up, a couple things. Secret word. So I've been telling myself to not forget that. And so the secret word is sparkle, because I've been watching it over Jill's head the entire time thinking, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. So sparkle's the word. Make sure you fill out our survey that I'm going to post at the top of this video when we're done. Fill that out by Monday night. The drawing will be on Tuesday, and one lucky lady will win a free necklace just for watching. So we appreciate your time. If there's any questions we didn't answer, we didn't really go into all the details of all the things, because honestly, we just want you to see that this business is fun. Like, we can teach you all the stuff, but it is really just a fun place to be. So, all right, have a great night. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jill. Bye.
Bye, y'all.